Okay, here's the request to retest. Module 4, Quiz 1. This is topics A through C, question number 3. Mrs. William uses the following recipe for crispy rice treats. She decides to make 2/3 of the recipe. The recipe is here below. 2 cups of melted butter, 24 ounces of marshmallows, and 13 cups of crispy rice cereal. How much of each ingredient will she need? Write an expression that includes multiplication. Solve by multiplying. Okay. First thing I want to do is see how much of the recipe she wants to make. And here it tells me she wants 2/3 of the recipe. Maybe she doesn't need the whole batch. She just wants a little bit of it. Okay, here's our recipe right here. I'm going to need those numbers. Since they're so close together and I need all of them, I'm just going to circle all of it for today. That way we don't blur it up with too many lines. Okay, we box our question. That's our RDW strategy. How much of each ingredient will she need? We need to write an expression that includes multiplication and solve by multiplying. Now you're not going to want to make a giant expression with these ones as we did in the last one because cups, ounces, and then cups again are not equal units. And we're not going to be adding the melted butter, marshmallows, and Rice Krispie cereal to come up with a total number of everything. We need to find out how much of each, okay? So first thing I want you to do is split up your work page into 3 sections, okay? The first section is going to be for the melted butter. The second section will be for the marshmallows. And the last section will be for the cereal. Okay. We have to set up an equation for each. We want an expression. Expressions don't have equal signs. We need to solve them. So we'll start with an expression. We'll change it to an equation just by adding an equal sign. So we want 2/3 of the recipe. The recipe calls for 2 cups of melted butter. And we want 2/3 of it. Here's my 2 cups. I want 2/3 of it. 2/3 of 2 cups. Okay? 2/3 of 2 cups. Let's see. It looks like one of those ones from the last 2 problems where I had a numerator and a denominator and then I was multiplying against a whole number. And what did I do then? Think back to my toolbox of strategies. Well, I made it one of those 2 numerator, 1 denominator fractions. So I'm going to be 2 times 2. Don't worry about the cups. We can put that at the end. Okay? Over 3. If I think about my multiplying, 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And I keep the denominator 3. Now that's an improper fraction, I know. So 3 goes into 4 one time. That gives me 3. How am I going to get to 4? Oh, I need 1 more, and they are in thirds. I look back to see what the units are, and it's cups. So in this 2/3 of a recipe, I'm going to be using 1 1/3 cups of melted butter. Now I must find out how many marshmallows I need, how many ounces of marshmallows. So, let's see, a full recipe is 24 ounces, and I want 2/3 of that recipe, so 2/3 of, because remember, multiplication says of, we can switch of for the multiplication sign. I have this numerator, denominator, whole number. I'm going to make a 2 numerator, 1 denominator fraction. Don't worry about the units, we'll pick them up later. Over 3. 2 times 24 equals 48 over 3. Now this one's a little bit tricky because I don't know how many 3's go into 48. I'm going to have to do a little scratch work over here. 48 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 take away 3 is 1. 3 cannot go into 1. I bring down the 8. How many 3's go into 18? 3 times 6 equals 18. 18 take away 18 is 0. So, if 3 needs to go into 48, it goes in 16 times. 16, what was my unit? Ounces of what? Of marshmallows. Okay, so we have our melted butter, we have our marshmallows, we're almost there on our recipe. Now we just need to know how much cereal we have. So, cereal, whole recipe is 13 cups. I don't want a whole recipe, I want 2/3 of the full recipe, which is 13 cups. I'm going to do a 2 numerator, 1 denominator fraction. 2 times 13 over 3. 2 times 13, well 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 1 is 2, so 2 times 13 must be 26, divided by 3. Think to myself, 3 times what is going to get me close to 26? 3 times 8, yes, 3 times 8 will give me 24. 3 times 8, that's 24, and to get to 26, I need 2 more, and what are they? They are thirds. Okay. What was my unit? Cups. Cups of what? Cups of cereal. To make 2/3 of the recipe, Miss Williams will need 1 1/3 cups of butter, 16 ounces of marshmallows, and 8 2/3 cups of cereal.